Throughout the course of 2017, I have managed to play through every single major installment of Mario Kart I am capable of capturing. With every passing game, we have seen the series gradually evolve in playability, character and track roster capacities, as well as kart drivability. This franchise, like any other should, change to meet the needs for its avid fans, in keeping them on their toes in new innovations with every installment. For a franchise that spanned over a quarter of a century, the Mario Kart series succeeded in being big-time selling points for Nintendo's console and handheld systems since the release of the Super Nintendo Entertainment System back in the early 90s. Within those 25 years, we have seen frantic over-the-top racing from tag team duos per kart, bikes contesting alongside the karts, battles under and overseas, as well as on surfaces the laws of gravity would otherwise not permit. After the Mario Kart releases on the Nintendo Wii U and Switch, and what action-packed gameplay and contents those games left, the sky's the limit on what Nintendo has in the oven for the next installment, for arguably their most popular spin-off title featuring the mustachioed plumber. Here's to another 25 years of Mario Kart that will, and always be the sub-franchise, I personally hold dearest to my gaming heart. Hello everybody, Nintendo 14 here, and welcome, with some exception to what I have next month, to the final installment of the Year of Mario Karts. Last part, we went over the second to last set of battle arenas in Mario Kart Deluxe, and went over the 5 things I liked about Mario Kart Deluxe. In this part, we're going to be playing as Mario for the last 2 battle arenas, and also after that, we're going to have up to a total of 4 online races. So that'll be exciting. Reason for that is for this special occasion, this mode for this video for the Year of Mario Kart, I'm gonna go over the 5. Wait, no, I'm done with that. I'm gonna go over the 9 favorite Mario Kart games ever. Gonna rank them down from least favorite to most favorite. And in the meanwhile, before the online sessions, or the 4 online races that I'll have after that. These last 2 battle arenas, I'm gonna be playing coin runners. That's the only game mode we haven't showed off yet in the battle mode for Mario Kart Deluxe. So then there's that. Okay, so without further ado, let's count down these numbers from number 9 all the way to number 1 on personally my favorite ever Mario Kart titles. So with Battle Course 1 from SNES from the first game, Super Mario Kart. That's actually going to be our number 9 entry, Super Mario Kart. And that's it's the first game in the series. So there's a lot to be improved on, especially after there being 8 more titles after Mario Kart, or the Super Mario Kart, for all the way back on the Super Nintendo in the early 90s. So what's there to the reason I didn't really enjoy about it? It's just that you really if you play the game now, you see a lot of the game's age, and you just wish that the changes that were made later on were made here. Instead, you're just playing a game that's like I've said before, it really shows its age. And I think the only reason why you would want to go back to Super Mario Kart is maybe revisit where the series all began from. And it's I think if you were to buy it from, say, the eShop from the 3DS or the Wii U, or from the Wii Shop channel from the Wii, then I'd say it's a perfectly good buy, because it's a fun little game that you can spend your weekend on. But aside from that, I wouldn't make it your personal favorite Mario Kart by any means, especially when there are far better options for your source of Mario Kart. So that's number 9 at the very bottom, the original Super Mario Kart. As there's tons of other games that are able to just put on a better Mario Kart installment. So the first of those being number 8 is Mario Kart Super Circuits. A lot of the stuff that I said about Super Mario Kart you can say here, except this game it did improve on Super Mario Kart in drivability, but but it still handles just like Super Mario Kart in the carts. That and the game does have some unlockables, and that's the only unlockable you can get is the retro tracks from Super Mario Kart, and then the title screen. That's about it. And then the title screen is the payoff for that is a little underwhelming in that you need to, or it's just the way you unlock the title screen is pretty absurd for just that. Unless you gotta get all the triple stars. So whether you believe that's worth getting that or not is up to you. But if you want to be completionist, then go for it. So yeah, this is the reason why I have Super Mario Kart and Super Mario Kart Super Circuit at the bottom barrel of my favorite list. Is pretty much the same reason why any other Mario Kart fan would put them at the bottom. It's just that when you go back to play them, it shows how old these games have become and how outclassed these two games are to other Mario Kart games in the lineup. You know, in replayability, and other reasons for you to come back to it, like better tracks or music or such. So that's enough of that. Going on to number 7 of my 9 favorite Mario Kart titles is Mario Kart Wii. Now, obviously, this is something this is a hands down one of those. It's the game that you'd probably have a lot higher on your list, but for me, this game came out at a really inconvenient time for me, in that when it came out, I've been playing the snot out of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and basically I wasn't ready for another big time seller for the Wii. It's not just yet. I didn't even consider there'd be another Mario Kart game on the Wii, but you know what? I was dead wrong to even think about that, because every system after the Super Nintendo is gonna have one Mario Kart game. And I think it's gonna stay that way to the end of time for Nintendo. But getting back to it, yeah, it was sandwiched in between some inconvenient times for me, in that Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and then after sometime a year or two after Mario Kart Wii came out, I just started to drift away from playing Nintendo games. I mean, 2010 or such, I would go on to play Super Mario Galaxy 2, but you know what? The fire started dimming out on me playing Nintendo games, and in between 2011 to early 2013, I spent most of my times over on the PlayStation 3 playing games on that system. And so, yeah, most of the reasons to blame as to why I just distanced myself from playing Nintendo games, and just the Mario Kart franchise as well. I think it untimely had to be because of Mario Kart Wii. That, and the game had some polishing issues. Some game designs were pretty iffy here and there, and the overall just the whole Mario Kart Wii game didn't really sit well with me, and so I just let it pass on, and it took me quite a while to replace my footing in Mario Kart. And I make it sound like this should have been number 9 on the list, way lower than Mario Kart Super Circuit or Super Mario Kart. But the reason I only have it at number 7 above Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart Super Circuit is that this game is successful in that it was the best-selling Mario Kart game of all time. It's a big selling point as to what people bought with the Wii. It's one of the games that just about everybody with the Wii has, and there's a lot of other people that really enjoyed Mario Kart Wii, like competitive people, and a lot of my friends, they really enjoy this Mario Kart title. But for me, this title didn't do me as well, because of these small little things that I had to go through while this game was out and new. Okay, so that's my long, in-depth explanation about Mario Kart. We pretty much deserved it because it's it's just at such a odd placing in where most people would have Mario Kart Wii at in their list. But that's my reasoning. Moving on to number 6 is Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, a few things I could explain as to why it's only a number 6. You can copy and paste from Mario Kart Wii, but the reason I think it's better than Mario Kart Wii, in my opinion, is that there's a lot more memorable things about Double Dash in the compact 16 tracks, which make them all very memorable, like DK Mountain, Yoshi Circuit, Mario Circuit, Luigi Circuit, and list goes on. But the tag team mechanic and the special items, and the amount of content that you're given with the unlockables and the multiplayer, which this is another big reason why it's only a number 6, is that the multiplayer. I think if you want to enjoy Double Dash to its fullest, you gotta play this game with friends. If you're playing Double Dash by yourself, then there's not much incentive to keep playing, because all you're gonna be doing is playing against the computer players and the bots. Well, they're the two same things, but you're just playing against the bots, in the Grand Prix of the game's single player. So when you have only that and not split screen multiplayer or the very unique LAN mode, then there's little to be desired over playing Mario Kart Double Dash. I mean, just trust me. If I did play this game with friends in its glory days, then I probably would have had this in probably the top 2, or maybe not top 2, but top 3 at the very least. But since I didn't have any luxury of that, then it really becomes this middle of the road Mario Kart game that came and went. So moving on to the top 5, or breaking the top 5, my favorite Mario Kart titles of all time, at least as of 25 years of the franchise's existence. Number 5 is this game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the most recent entry in the franchise. I have its middle of the road because there's some stuff I'm still getting used to the game, and there are things in this game that I wish didn't that weren't the case. Big reason is that this game does not have the gamepad screen that the original Mario Kart 8 had, and so now we're going back to the Mario Kart Wii days. So that means it borrows a lot of ugly gameplay elements that I mentioned about, well, not mentioned about Mario Kart Wii, but part of this game does feel like Mario Kart Wii in that there's no gamepad screen. So that automatically doesn't put this game in my likability off in the right foot. But still, this game does have a lot of fun elements from the original Mario Kart 8 that I like. And the drivability. I think it's all the carts still handle fairly well, even though the mini turbos have been nerfed in that certain carts don't handle equally, or they don't handle the same like they did in the original Mario Kart 8. And so it's like with any other Mario Kart, it's still a new experience. It's not the same Mario Kart 8 that we had 3 years ago. And so if this game somehow still had the gamepad screen, then yeah, I would have it a lot closer to where I'm gonna have Mario Kart 8 later on. But this game is still relatively new, and I bet if I give it even more time, maybe a year or two, then maybe I can change its position on where it is. But you know what? I think having it middle of the road, number 5, I think for now is the safest bet, or the safest spot I could put it, especially because it's brand new, and you can't really say too much about the game without breaking your your strong opinion and all that. Where am I going with this? Anyways, yeah, just number 5. That can change with every month and year passing by for Mario Kart Deluxe. And so now let's break into the number 4 of the list of the games of Mario Kart that I like, or more than just like my favorite Mario Kart games of all time. So number 4 is Mario Kart DS, the game that introduced me to online multiplayer on a whole. This Mario Kart DS was the first Mario Kart title that I would have the honor of playing online, and also it's the first game to have two screens. And that second screen you can use to look on other racers, see where they're at, but most importantly, see what items they're holding, so you can prepare yourself and for any barrage of attacks that your fellow racers might throw at you. This, because of all those aspects, the multiplayer being online, it was a fun game to play. Very accessible too, in that you had the DS download play, so anyone who doesn't have this awesome game that deserves to be in every DS holder's library, they're still able to play with those Mario Kart DS cartridge owners. But they're only restricted to Shy Guy and a couple courses and battle arenas. But you know what? That didn't sabotage the fun and excitement for everybody. That just meant it was a hurdle, but we were still able to enjoy a fair amount of content of Mario Kart DS with everybody, whether they had the game or not. And so because of that, it was Mario Kart DS just placed this this milestone on my video gaming career. And what would I be without Mario Kart DS? So I owe a lot to Mario Kart DS because of all that, the multiplayer and what it meant to me during the DS age. So with that being said, let's move on to number 3, and that's gonna be Mario Kart 7. Yeah, the game that this track came from. We're gonna be in Neo Bowser City, but it's also Mario Kart 7 is also the one game that we have yet to play, at least technically speaking, from the year Mario Kart. I skipped Mario Kart 7 because I don't have a way of capturing Mario Kart 7 in any way without having to use a camcorder. So yeah, I'm not in the comfortable mood or comfortable manner to play Mario Kart 7 just because of that. But aside from that, with how many countries that have this game released on, this Mario Kart 7 had the record for multiple countries being released. So that would mean you'd have a little to no chance at not finding a full lobby of players to play with. So that meant online multiplayer would be pretty fun, and that you'd always find new players. I think still, even with the releases of the two Mario Kart 8s, there's still plenty of people that play Mario Kart 7, probably because they can't afford the new systems, and the 3DS is such a little compact system that it was competent for most budget Nintendo fans. And so that and the way it worked really well with the 3DS system in the Street Pass and its portability and play accessibility, it also had a lot of the charm that the original DS had, and that you can play with players that didn't have Mario Kart 7, but it takes it a step further in that you're not able to play as any of the other characters. You still have to play Shy Guy just like you did in Mario Kart DS, but you also had full access to all the kart combos and all the tracks. So that meant it just evolved from what Mario Kart DS was, and that's no matter if you had the game or not, you're able to play just about all the game, everything the game had to offer. And so that'd make one of the more valuable Mario Kart titles if you want to just talk from the player standpoint. So you had a lot of content to run with, a lot of stuff you can do with Mario Kart 7. That and with the Street Pass, you can Street Pass with others to gain access to their profile, and you also get access to their custom Grand Prix. So you can play on their 4 preset tracks for their Grand Prix, most of the Grand Prix would feature Rainbow Road, but my favorite, or my list of tracks would feature some of my personal favorite tracks, which it's been a while since I've been on Mario Kart 7, so I can't remember off the top of my head the 4 tracks I chose, but I bet they're pretty good ones, like Piranha Plant Slide, Music Park, Mario Circuit 2 from SNES over there, and then probably DK Jungle as well. The tracks that you see in Mario Kart 8 were probably in there because of how great those tracks were. Okay, so that's my gushing on just the third entry in my list of my favorite Mario Kart games of all time. But now we're going into the runner-up position, number 2, which is Mario Kart 64. And that's gotta pay tribute to the game that started it all for me, or just for you. Your first game. Of course, it's gonna be, it's gonna hold something real dear to your heart, and that's and for my case with Mario Kart 64, that was one of the earliest racing games I would get the honor of playing. It was right after my days of playing Diddy Kong Racing, but Mario Kart 64 was the one game that got me hooked on the whole Mario Kart, or not just Mario Kart, but the whole franchise of Mario as a whole. Like, at that point, before Mario Kart 64, I haven't even heard much of the Mario franchise. Matter of fact, at the time, I already told this in the story part of the beginning of the your Mario Kart section for Mario Kart 64, but I'll say it again. Believe it or not, I wanted to get Mario Kart 64 over Super Mario 64, and that's my parents insisted that I get Super Mario 64, but then I said no. I wanted to get Mario Kart 64. And so while we're winding down the credits, let's try and squeeze in the number 1 entry. By process of elimination, you probably have saw this coming, as less Mario Karts were there to narrow it down to. But number 1 is the original Mario Kart 8, yeah, from the Wii U. If you saw my top 5 like list and the last part of the original Mario Kart 8 for the year of Mario Kart, then you probably saw this entry coming from a mile away. And that's it combines the aspect from the handhelds, and that you have a second screen to see where all the races are, and the controls and drivability. That, and the cherry on top is all the great moments that I had on my angle from online races, and just overall how much fun I've had with Mario Kart 8. The music, the tracks, and all the great moments from those online races. And so if it weren't for all that, I don't think I would ever consider the original Mario Kart 8 to be my number 1. But because of all that, the great moments, all the great success, of course, all the race wins, that just it topples any of the other Mario Kart games that I've had the privilege to play over the past years. And so yeah, Mario Kart 8 Wii U, it's despite that the game did not have a proper battle mode, you know what, I could care less, because in actuality, I like to play Mario Kart 4's versus mode and the intense racing that it has throughout all the Mario Karts. I would play battle mode here and there, mainly from Mario Kart DS. I think, in my opinion, that game still has the best battle mode because of how simplistic, but still at a complex level of that game's battle mode. And so, that's going to be the case. So anyways, that's the list of my 9 favorite Mario Kart titles, ranked from least favorite to most favorite. You guys are definitely going to have a different list than what I had, and that's understandable. I mean, you can say the same thing about all the lists that I've made about my likes and dislikes for each game, except for Mario Kart 7. Don't worry, we're going to get to that. And so, yeah, that's up for... That's actually next for the year of Mario Kart next this upcoming December, and that's what was getting so trying to get derailed from this commentary. Anyways, yeah, this December is gonna be what should have been the Mario Kart 7. So I'll figure out. I got something planned for Mario Kart 7. It's not gonna be the game itself, but you know what? I'm gonna put in the next best thing. Is it gonna have the intro segments? I'm still debating on that. Good chance I'm leaning over to no intro segments because it doesn't feel fitting. Because because of how I'm gonna be structuring this out. But yeah, this is the conclusion of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe portion of the Year of Mario Kart. Tune in next week as we're going to be wrapping up the whole year of Mario Kart with the tracks of Mario Kart 7. Till then, see you guys later.